You guys' thoughts on this live. I noticed. Yeah. Come on in. Taste the rainbow. All right, come on in. Come on in the room. Here's my question. Let me move this in. I'm trying to wait for some bodies to drop into this chat. Okay, so I was checking over in Passiville, Jay Wilson's land, whatever you want to call it. And they're going back and forth between Passer and ZX. See what I did? See how I didn't say Juicy in this live? See how I didn't say Grumpy Gums in this live? But yeah, just to going back and forth between them, I want to know people's thoughts on that. I guess that would have been the first time that we've heard some type of going back and forth between them since the so-called apology. And y'all know when that took place, you know what I mean? And it wasn't the biggest thing, but it still was a going back and forth. What are your thoughts? You know, Pastor was like, oh, well, I know you have a problem. It's like, oh, do you? I couldn't tell. Like, right? You know, okay, since the apology and that timing, we're talking about since the apology was given to today, I couldn't tell. What's different? You know? Are you saying you had him around knowing that he had a problem with your existence? Is that what you said? Oh, thanks for dropping in, L Blue. I wanted to say, I want to thank you for your input in the last live because it helped. I didn't know which because I didn't catch up, you know, so I haven't even seen the TS video, but it helped because right after the live, I went and dug it up. I think it was about 30 minutes, right? And whatever it was, I think it was 30 minutes. I watched all 30 minutes. And it wasn't matched what you were saying. Also, Levon gave a lot of good input. So I want to thank her as well. Let's see. My man in chat. How you doing, Volley? I'm sorry. Let me wipe this up. Yali B. How are you, Yali B? I've been in and out of the B sector. Oh, just here to listen. Okay, so that means you've been around. Okay. You probably remember when I was on the phones. I'm not even sure. Let's see. Just tapping in. Who are we talking about now? Let's see. Sorry, my son came over. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess MP means no problem. Okay, I'm good. Yeah. So the feedback was good. It was a match to everything. Um, I was able to catch up with you guys. I can't remember all of what you said and all of what Levon said, but it was pointed out to me that T.S. Madison had people reach out to her, and the way she put it in the video, because I was like, I'm sensing it was personal. I had said that to you guys, but the way she put it in the video, it was personal, and it it seemed like she took it personal because it was personalized. Like over and over in that video, she had said, like people were saying, like, yeah, you're supposed to be a voice and you're always pointing out this, that, and the other. I bet you will not speak or condemn what this trans woman has done in this case with Sequilla. Like she kept saying that over and over in the video. So I was like, oh, really? Like people are like searching her up to say these things and make these remarks or whatever. So yeah. And then you guys had pointed out that she had said your people, like in making that whole separation. And I caught up with that in the video. So I had got the explanation. Once I finished that video, I went to my main screen. I was watching everything on my smart television. That's when I could see that Pastor was on, and as soon as I went over there, she was on the panel. He was on the panel. ZX was on the panel. See how I didn't even call him Grumpy Gums? See how that worked? Okay, so I'm behaving. And who else? It was another person. It was like I think it was like 4 people on the screen. Maybe it was Shelly. So that's what I caught up with. So I didn't see like when T.S. Madison first came on. I don't know if she just got on then. I didn't rewind or nothing back. I just had to watch in real New York time. Okay, it's good. I get and respect Maddie concerns about the trans community, but she didn't have to talk down to women to make her point. L Blue, what was the talking down to the women? Like, that's the type of things, I would like to know. But one thing I did notice, and I'm not going to pretend like I didn't notice it, you guys. Like even if I don't drop down into Jay Wilson's chat, if I happen to be watching them, it'll be from the Skybox. We don't really mesh like that. So it'd be like from the Skybox or whatever. And I'm used to seeing like who drops in. And I just saw like a lot of unfamiliar names. I'm not going to suggest that all of them were chosen. Of course, there will be unfamiliar names because it was like a heavy load in the chat. I know at one point I looked down, it was like 749. But I wasn't really checking like that. But, I know the messages were moving. So, yeah, just by Maddie dropping in, you're going to see an increase. But I did see some very boisterous, and they were kind of meanies. There were some meanies that were like unfamiliar to my eye. As I'm reading the handle or the screen name, I'm like, oh, I never saw this person. And I'm not a stranger to this area. I am around. Let's see. Yoli type. I think she had overwhelming criticisms. She's passed out. I get it. I'm a less material. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Spazzed out. Yeah. Oh, did you? I don't mind the Maddie stuff. Like if y'all have some Maddie stuff, it's still feedback, it's still input. Let me know. I'll give you guys my true thoughts, whatever. Engage you guys. But I really want to know about what did you guys think about the back and forth between Jay Wilson and ZX. Because it was things that ZX was trying to ask, and it was being blocked. It was being blocked. Like, oh no, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna do that here. And it's like, okay, but why police it now? And I'm not saying that it comes out every time ZX hits a link. But what I'm saying is like really nothing really offensive came out. You know, and they would say that I'm LGBT, right? So nothing really like offensive or malicious came out. I mean, you can make the argument that it was slightly off topic. You know, you can make that argument. But as far as like 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 and like why police that? You like it has to come out in order for us to respond to it. So I just didn't understand that, you know what I mean? Because I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking like if it was yesterday, meaning the day before Maddie clicked the link, like ZX could ask that on that panel. You know, in a similar topic. Like if they had a regular trans person, let's say from this area, like Dimples, if it, you know, if it wasn't Maddie, in my mind, I'm thinking, I could be wrong. Let me look to the chat. Let's see. L Blue writes, Maddie has made it clear on several occasions that she doesn't have a problem with beating up a biological woman. Right. I made the same type thing because I'm that same type person and have even said it in those words. Like, just keep your hands to yourself, you know. But yeah, like, I don't even know if I see it as violence. That's the whole thing. And I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, I don't, that's not how I think. That's not even how I don't see self-defense as violence. I think if you, what I saw with Shanquella, I think that was self-violence. Not that she committed the violence on herself, but just not even to fight. I don't understand that. And that's not how I'm hardwired. Like, it's instinctive in me. It's not even a thought process. Like, I'm going off. Like, and that's why I don't suggest that people fuck with me. But people think that that's some way of showing machoism and being like, they think that's bravado. No, it's like, no, that's a reasonable warning. Like, like if you know me, like, you know. But I don't like getting on the internet and saying what I can do and what I work with and shit like that. But when it comes to fighting, that's just saying I'm diverse. I can do hand-to-hand combat. I'm with the shits. I can do a lot of different things. Like, yeah, like you're not talking to someone that's unfamiliar with that. Like, I don't want to sound like the person from Color Purple that was saying all that life they had to fight. But yeah, like I'm no stranger to that. So, and people are quick to doing that when you are of a certain class. And that's something that people will never understand. I think they think it's an excuse. But you will be picked. You will be picked. Like, and you can see like people like making picks. So, you know, it gets to the point where you can see it before it occurs. You like, I kind of figured that this would happen. I just didn't know when. Let me read the chat. I don't want to go off too much. Hey, what is up, Vibrant? How are you? Thanks for dropping in. People were agreeing about Maddie speaking up for the trans community. Okay, let me continue to read on. They just didn't like how she bashed biological women to get her point across. But that's what I keep, you keep referencing it. I just want to know what was the bashing? Because the only thing that, like, I heard, and I wouldn't call it bashing, but was the thing that with the separation, where she was like, by your own, your kind, that whole thing. And she spoke to that. So I was trying to figure out the best. Not saying that there wasn't, but I did watch the video. So let me know. Um, yeah. Oh, and I was gonna say, if there is a voice to speak for the trans community, why wouldn't it be TS with her reach and her influence? Why wouldn't it? Um, okay, let me read this. This from Yoli B. I like Jay Wilson somewhat, not so much ZX. It was Jay's platform. Okay, I followed. I used to drop down rarely. I used to drop down rarely anymore. Okay, don't have the guts to start my own. Real talk. The guts may come, you know, if that's what you want to do. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, you gotta respect. You do have to respect people's platforms, but still, like the man couldn't get out a question. Like sometimes you have to let that shit out, like in order to make your rebuttal. Like it can't always be this thing. Like I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna say. I know what your next thought is. Like you gotta give people that leeway to make that thought. And if you knew all along, then you'll get the satisfaction of knowing you were correct. But the host allowing them on and then say, go ahead, now it's your turn to talk. And when they do, they're like, can I just get this one simple question out, please? And like you're all over top of them every time that they try. Like that still is weird to me. And I know it's ZX, but that still is weird to me. You know, why let him on? Oh, because I know how you are. So now this comes up? Really? But yesterday we good, right? 2 days before we're good. 3 days before, like all of that. So it was something else different. This is what I'm questioning. And I'm just thinking it was something else different going on today that wasn't going on these other days. Let's see. I felt like he didn't trust ZX with Maddie. He didn't trust that engagement. Like, you know, while she was there, he didn't trust it. I was saying like mistrust all over. That's what I was sensing. Let's see. Okay. I'm all for defending myself, but I don't think anyone should attack someone just because they know they're bigger and stronger. Okay, well, yeah, definitely, because that's a bully, pretty much, to me. You know, you sizing somebody up and attacking them because you figure that you're more physically dominant, right? If that's what you're saying. Yeah, like that's a whole fucking bully. Yeah, but here's the thing, like we're talking about like someone threatening your life or harming you, like yeah, like it's not like like it depends on the situation, you guys. So that's kind of like a setup to even answer if the question is not specific, because there's all different types of ways that people can attack you. But let's say the type of shit that gets on Snapped. Those examples with those crazy ass women that kill men and kill people, like I'm not doing the female rollout thing. I'm just not. Like in like those type of situations, like I'm fighting for my fucking life. And I see self-defense different as violence. I see it as really like a tool that's instilled in us to prevent violence or harm from taking place with you. And I don't care how I do it in those situations. I really don't. All I know is someone's trying to take my fucking life. Like, and I'm not like examining parts and nothing of that shit. Like, I'm taking you the fuck down. Like, I'm gonna get you before you get me. That's my mind. So that's why I don't recommend fucking with people. Like, people don't know your background, you know. People tend to complain. I've seen people start shit and then complain like, "Yo, I just smacked you and you punched me in my eye." Yeah, like that's what happens when you're going around smacking motherfuckers. Let's see. Now, is anybody opposed to keep your hands to yourself? I'm not saying it's foolproof. Nothing is gonna. Actually, no suggestion is gonna work 100% of the time. But what about that? What is that? Like, what are people's thoughts on that? Let's see. Hey, what's up, Detached? Thanks for dropping in. Okay, let me see. Jay Wilson overtalked anyone who had an opposing view to his. Right, what is wrong with it? And that's all I'm saying. Like, true. Especially with his direction. Like, he was real keen on his direction and stingy with really like allowing space because I think there was space for that. Like, whether Maddie was there or not, I just think there was space for like diverging or opinion views and just nuance. You know what I mean? I felt like it was some space for that, and everything didn't have to, every view didn't have to land in this exact same space. You know what I mean? So, but it was people yeah, like I'm talking about some of the chat comments, like people talking about men coming out of women's wombs. Like, to me, when I see stuff like that, it's hard for me to believe that that's just like harmless ignorance. You know how we lack knowledge in some areas? It's hard for me to believe that the person saying that's an adult isn't like trying to be malicious, like in doing that, like in how extreme they go. First of all, like women, when they push babies out, they're not men, they're males. I mean, it's important to note that. But like whenever we have this discussion with trans, people want to say, they want to go to this talking point about the men that comes out of women's womb. When babies do, men do not. Nothing mature comes out of a woman. So it wouldn't be a man, it would be a male. And hopefully if it lived long enough, it would develop into a man. But people start doing shit like that only so that they can, just to reflect back at them like, oh, you're a man. Because you came out your mom's womb as one. No, you didn't. You came out your mom's womb as a male. And they know this shit. Like, well, put it like this. We had T.S. Madison, so I'm not saying like there's no, variety in the type of trans women that are out there. But we know those that followed her, we know how she speaks. And how she identified is consistent. Like, she didn't change it and flip it over the years that I've seen her, and I like that. And actually, like how she comes to see trans people is very close to how I talk about trans people in this sector, which have offended people. When she says she's not female, I say the same thing, but I don't get off at saying it. I say the same thing when it comes up, like if it happens to come up. But I'm not out there saying, hey, just in case you thought that you was getting away with something, you're not female. That's not what I do. But sometimes we can have conversations with trans people, and they're sitting there telling you, and it's just like, yo, like, it's enough for me that I accept you as a human and that I accept you as a woman. Like, but I'm not going to even like do the whole female thing because I don't go that far. I just don't. Because I do see the difference between sex and gender, and it is a difference. So, oh, let me mention this. ZX, when he was talking to Maddie, he said he see trans women, he see it all as gay. What? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Like, so are we saying that all homosexuals transition at gender? And are we saying that all trans people who have transitioned are like really like secretly gay? Like, and that it's not a gender issue for them, but like what's really underneath it all that they're really trying to hide. Like, it's real. They're doing it under the auspices of gender, but like underlying what the real answer is that they're really gay men. Like, are we saying this now? Like, how is it all gay? And why is it important for him to take two different phenomenons, right? Two different communities and merging them like that? Like, where does he get off? Like, it doesn't even make sense to do that, though. But I don't even believe he said that. Like, how is it all gay? You know, also, I guess he don't follow, too, that male to female trans women, some of them are lesbian. Once they transition to a woman, whatever they had a sexual attraction to prior to that transition, you know that pretty much stays with them. Yeah. So if there is a male who comes into this world and later transitions into a female, if as a young little boy, if he was attracted to women, that pretty much stays throughout their lifetime. So once they become a trans woman, they'll begin dating other trans women and other females, like lesbians. That's what I've seen. So changing your gender does not change what you're attracted to. But it was just like, it's all gay to me. But you sometimes you still gotta let that shit comes out. And it wasn't like he was saying the most nastiest things, because we know how his mouth can get. And I'm just saying, like, why should we like recoil today? That's all my, you know what I mean? He wasn't recoiling yesterday. Like, we know how that man's mouth can get, and he didn't get nowhere near the shit he can say. You know, so you kind of gotta let it come out. I mean, you let him on the fucking panel. Like, see, it's only but so far that faking shit can go. So I guess he feels like it's good enough for him to unleash it on us commoners, okay? Us peons and regular people. But if a Maddie or someone like that ever gets on it, then yeah, like, that was kind of, it was reminiscent of the protection shit that people talk about. Let me get to this. It was kind of like censoring a bit. I don't think that I don't think I'm reaching if I say like there was some censoring to that. Let me go and look at the chat. Oh, that's probably when I was talking about Snap. Yeah, like, yeah, women can fucking harm you, like dismember you and everything. I've seen some shit. Like, I don't know if y'all watch Snap. They can abduct you, all this shit. Like, drug you, poison you. Fuck no. Like, okay. She writes, he was being extra, like he was doing it to get brownie points from Maddie. Yeah. I think he was kind of like, he was scary too. This is what I make out. He was scary with the very thing that he embraced. Like, he did the whole fake apology thing with Jay Wilson, not really thinking like, hey, soon Maddie's gonna be hitting your link, and guess what? ZX gonna be there. See, it's okay for him to unleash that on us. Like he's like when ZX is on the panel with the regular people from here, like him, he ain't all like that. But like he was on some like eggshell shit, like pins and needles shit. Like like it was some anxiety. He was like, look, ZX, and now you want to call him out, but he didn't really do anything tonight that was call outable. I'm gonna make up a word. It wasn't call outable. Like it was a slippery slope. Like Pastor was trying to get ahead of him, and when you do that, like it's always gonna come with some measure of error. You see what I'm saying? Because ZX always get that room to say, now, if you would please allow me to ask a question, I was not going to say this. I was going to go in that direction. He's always going to have that to play. He's always going to have that card to play because you keep stopping him and cutting him off. Like if you just let him do that, he won't, he won't be in a position to be able to say, you got it wrong in your assumption. But that's pretty much what it was. Like, it's an assumption. It's you say, I know what you're going to say, and I'm not going to allow you to do it here. That's what was going on. Like, you wouldn't let him do it. And you could have been wrong. Like, there's a lot of, like, off chances where Pastor is wrong. I don't think that's a lesson that people like to deal with. But yeah, like it's a lot of all where he thinks something is going to occur, where he's fearful that something is going to occur. But my whole thing is don't get fearful of ZX's mouth and his mentality on trans and homosexuals now. What I'm saying, when yesterday it was good for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like you was okay with that. So yeah, like don't get nervous now. You see, because you sleeping with the devil anyway, so let's get it. Oh yeah, and a lot of people enjoyed how him and Tim got along for the thing. I didn't know that y'all liked that. It seemed like y'all hate that idea. Was it because Maddie was there? Because I've seen people like create like this whole backlash towards both of them. Like if they ever looked like they were not tearing, like clawing at each other. I've seen this shit. So that was surprising. When people was like, oh, it's so cute. Like, oh, it's so mature. Which it is. I think it is a mark of maturity when people can do that, but let's see. All right, I'm trying to follow the chat. Okay, and I'm just seeing a lot of hellos. Hey, how are you, Philly T? Thanks for dropping in. And Miss Paulette Waters, how are you? And I think I got everybody, but I tend to miss people. What's up, Vibrant? Hey, Miss Pretty Wings, how are you? I see you. All right, and Yali B. Okay. It looked like you guys are all out of comments, so I'm about to go. But yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen now. And it did get a little rowdy. Like I think I did. I need to go back, I guess, if it's important enough for me to hear. But I think I did hear ZX throw out a name of sorts, like when voices were being raised or whatever. And Pastor was trying to read. He was bringing up some past shit. Like I don't know. But it's just like, yeah, like, why does that matter now, though? This man really have it. And I ain't gonna lie, the question was extraneous, but I can't say offensive. And he was given an answer. So she did answer. Let's see. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna cue up some music and be out of here. If you guys can like the video for me, thanks for your feedback. Okay, and engaging and connecting with me, dropping in. I really do appreciate it. Found some music. And it's good seeing you on Philly T. I don't see you a lot. I hope all is well. I hope you're feeling good. All right, let's get it. And I'm going through some shit of my own. Just with mourning, you know, it takes a minute for me. So it's kind of easy for me to put a lot of this shit down and be like, that shit will be here for me to pick up at my own leisure, okay? To be concerned with that. Sometimes I have to mentally prepare myself to come here in that way. So, you guys have a good one. Okay, and to me, that's part of self-care. I think it's necessary. And I think more of you guys are addicted. Y'all, I think it's easy for, this is for those, first of all, for those who admit that they have an addiction to this sector. That's one thing. But I think is way more addicts to this sector than people who are willing to admit it. And I think it's easy for them to say addicted to the sector, but I believe these people are addicted to the drama in this sector. I'm convinced of that. It's the drama. That's where the addiction lies. I think it's easier for them to say the sector. All right, thank you guys so much. It's all the dark shit about it. And please subscribe to the channel.